Charleston's first trucking expo is rolling into the Lowcountry September 17th with industry speakers, a kids zone, vendors, and CDL scholarships. Make sure to come to Ladson Exchange Park on September 17th and visit charlestontruckexpo.com.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it's showtime. What's happening, everybody? Yeah, bring me back on camera. There you go. It is time for the Geno Jones Show. I guess you figured that out, right? So I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. here on the East Coast, 5:30 if you're in Chicago or Houston or St. Louis, up in Milwaukee, Minneapolis, 3:30 out in Los Angeles or out in San Francisco, up in Portland or Seattle. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. You and everybody you know, everybody that you like, folks that you ain't that crazy about, folks you love, folks you can't stand, strangers, aliens from outer space. Tell everybody, tell them all. Must see TV, the Geno Jones Show. All right, so listen, let's get right into it. So there's been a lot of talk, a lot of distractions. Okay, because we are about, believe it or not, we're about 400 plus days away from the 2024 election. And really, we are facing a stark choice. Do we continue this flawed, but the best system that I know, our form of democracy, as flawed as it is, and it's very flawed, or do we become what they call an autocracy? What does that mean? Are we going to be run by a dictator and basically like a violent cult members that tried to violently overthrow the government back in January 6th of 2021. Many have been convicted, in jail right now. The leader of the Proud Boys, members of the Oath Keepers, some of these other white nationalist violent groups call themselves militia. So are we going to be ruled by a cultist, a cult leader? Or are we going to continue some form of democracy to strive for this thing they called, you hear President Obama used to talk about it all the time, a more perfect union. Yeah, we got a long way to go before we get to perfect. We still got a long way to go before we get to near perfect. But yes, the goal is to strive for a more perfect union. But I can't stress enough how serious, like the last 3 or 4 elections, we've said this is the most important election of our lifetime. Well, in 2024, that election really is the most important election here in America of our lifetime. Because you have like 2 choices, binary choices. Okay? It's just that simple. You vote for a democracy, for everybody having equal rights, for women to have their autonomy, control over their own body, to decide when or if they want to even have children or a child. If we want to have a democracy that makes sure that all children are going to be educated and get the best quality education, and that they'll have health care, and their parents will have health care, and that their parents will be able to get a job, and a good paying job at least, and making sure that medicine for our seniors and the elderly is more affordable. Now insulin, those on Medicare can get insulin. It's capped at $35 a month. So are we going to have a democracy that roots for everybody, that tries to make level the playing field, or make the playing field as equal as possible? Or are we just going to, like I said, be ruled by a dictator? An angry, ignorant, insecure, narcissistic, demonic person that's really out for vengeance, that really didn't give a damn about anybody, including his family, but himself, but will pit his cult members and make his cult members think that the reason they haven't gotten a raise in years and the reason they can't get out of their trailer park communities and their kids can't get educated and why their kids are ODing on crystal meth or maybe fentanyl, opioids, is because of a black person or a black woman. I'm going to get more into that in a second. Or a Mexican or a Muslim or a gay man or a lesbian woman or a bisexual person or a trans person. That somehow the reason your life hasn't improved is because of them. When it's really because of people that look like your boy. You MAGA cult members that you worship. Like he's like your white Jesus. And he didn't give a damn about you. Not at all. It's really that simple, guys. I'm gonna just give it to you straight, no chaser. Just turn the shot glass up, pop, giving it to you straight. But there are a lot of distractions out there, and that's what I wanted to talk about, because I know it's annoying, but we got to stay focused. Because today was a story about the president's son. Now, we're not going to talk about the former president, the orange jumpsuit Hitler, whose daughter got all type of patents from China, and his son-in-law, they got $2 billion, like a $2 billion loan from the Saudis, or the Saudi government. It really is not. It's like a monarchy. It's a dictatorship. You got the Saudi king runs it all. So it ain't like they don't have no democracy where people get to vote and they get to really pick their leader. No, their leader's already been predetermined. But I digress. Because I heard today Hunter Biden, the president's son, so he got charged, 2 gun charges. Basically, and he's been very honest and open about his drug addiction. So while he was using crack cocaine, he signed some documents or some paper, and he lied on these documents or whatever form it was, and he said that he wasn't using any illegal drugs, and he was. Somehow they got wind of it. So this is what he's being charged for. You were a drug addict. You were using crack. You weren't supposed to be. You weren't supposed to have possession of any weapon. And on this form, you lied about it. Okay. I don't give a damn. I just don't. I really don't care. And you know who? The only people that really care are these MAGA cult members. They're the only one that cares about Hunter Biden. But it's odd they don't care about Jared Kushner or his wife, Ivanka. I think not Ivanka. His orange jumpsuit Hitler's daughter. Because I think her mom was Ivanka. But anyway, his daughter, that one. They don't care about them. So we cannot get distracted. All right, because voting rights, states are taking away voting rights, literally trying to take away, not only just take away your voting rights, if you elect somebody that's not part of the MAGA cult in a lot of states like Florida, Texas, and Wisconsin, people who have been duly elected by the public, if they're not in the MAGA cult, in these states that are controlled by Republicans, they just fire these people. Vote them. somehow vote him out. So that means that you were throwing out all the people that voted for this person. Person that won an election fair and square, got the most votes. And you're telling the people that live in these states, we don't give a damn about your votes. They don't count. Because we have the power here in these state houses, in these state legislators. And if you're not part of the MAGA cult, we're going to get rid of you. Is that what we're doing? That's not a democracy. That's a dictatorship. So that you can't get distracted. That is what is on the line. All right? You want to get affordable child care, pre-K, pre-K for your kids, preschool kids. Remember those child tax credits that you were getting a couple years ago when President Biden got in office? $250, $300 a month. And the only reason they stopped, because the Democrats lost control of the House of Representatives, you would still be getting that money. Much needed. Much needed. But wages have gone up. People talk about, inflation. Do you know inflation has dropped from like it was about a little over a year ago, it was like 9%. The inflation rate was like 9%. Now it's down to 3%. Just imagine if it was the reverse. If the inflation rate a year ago was at 3% and then it tripled, people would be going crazy, crazier. Their heads would be exploding. This is all about power. People that have had power for years, for decades, for centuries. People, and many of these people, they've used racism and misogyny and sexism and xenophobia, the fear of others. They've used that fear and ignorance to maintain control of power and money, and to pit with this whole made up construct, this made up bullshit of race, which is, it's what they call a social construct. That means it's not rooted in science or biology. It was created by man. It was made up. This whole concept of white and black, if you get a DNA test, I'll say it again, I've said it 1,000 times, there's nothing in the human genome. If you get a DNA test, and it will not come back and say, oh, wow, you're like 82% white, or you're like 94% black. It won't do it. It will say you may have ancestry, or your heritage could be from Eastern Europe, maybe Greek, from Greece, or France, or from Scotland, or Great Britain, WASP, or German, or Italian, or Portuguese, or from one of the African countries on the continent of Africa, Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria. All right, this whole race thing is made up. You got to understand that. So you had one dude, Orange Hitler, he has exploited it to the max. He has sent out the call, like he literally did it on a debate stage. Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. Now, the leader of the Proud Boys, stand your ass up in your jail cell. Dividing this country. Doing Vladimir Putin's job. Putin is like who your boy Orange Jumpsuit Hitler wants to be. That's his idol. Might as well be his daddy. He wants to be a dictator so bad. Ooh, we can feel it like an orgasm. He's like, ooh, oh, I want to be a dictator. I want to be a dictator like Vladimir. And ride around on a horse, bare-chested with no shirt, looking like a damn fool. His ass needs to do some sit-ups and cut them carbs out of his diet. Because I didn't see a six-pack. I didn't see a one-pack. I saw a no-pack of Vladimir Putin. That picture, he's riding a horse with no shirt. Dude, really? And That's who your boy, Orange Jumpsuit Hitler, wants to be like. And miss me with this thing about, well, President Biden is too old. Well, so is your boy, Orange Jumpsuit Hitler. They're only, I think, like maybe 3 years apart, 2-3 years. Both of them. Plus 75. So, one can't be too old and the other one not. And one is clearly not in his right mind. And it's your man, Orange Jumpsuit Hitler. Deranged and just acting out, angry, vengeful. Just his social media platform, which I'm not even going to give a plug, but you can find it if you want it. These wild rants at all times of the night. It's like, take your ass to bed. So stay focused. And by the way, because I read this today, and I've heard it, it's been so much talk about Vice President Kamala Harris, and she's not popular, and then your girl, Miss Nikki Haley, who's running to be president, she is part of the MAGA cult side of things. It wants to be the nominee on the Republican MAGA cult side, who's constantly been saying, well, now, if you vote for the Democrats, well, President Biden, he's not going to be president. It's going to be Kamala Harris, President Harris. And I called her out. I called bullshit and racist on her. And this is a woman of color. But she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was saying, and she knows who she is talking to. All those racist, sexist, misogynistic, fear of a black planet, or just fear of black people. That was like the rallying call. You better turn out to vote. Because if not, oh my God, this black woman. So instead of saying this black woman, President Harris. See, I'm translating it for you. Now, if she was to come on the show, she would lie and deny it, but she could call me a liar all she wants to. But I know the truth. And and Nikki Haley is not the only one that's doing it, trying to scare the MAGA cult. Oh my God, that's the worst thing that could happen is, oh my God, a black woman? Just look at Orange Jumpsuit Hitler. Fondy Willis, Fulton County DA. Oh, she's a racist. Letitia James, I think she's state's attorney, New York state attorney, or district attorney up in New York somewhere. She's a racist. The judge that's handling his insurrection case, trying to overthrow the government in Washington, D.C. Judge Chutkan, a black woman. She's a racist. So, there's been all this talk about Vice President Kamala Harris. Maybe she should be replaced. And shout out to Sunny Hostin on The View. And Sunny, she told it, she gave it to him straight, no chaser. She said, okay, President Biden, don't F around and find out. Because if you take Kamala Harris off the ticket as your vice president, you're going to lose a lot. Black folks in general are not going to vote for you. Now, I know that's crazy because you're saying, you may think it's crazy, but she's got a point. Because the loyalist group of voters for the Democrats, and especially for Joe Biden would not be President Joe Biden if it wasn't for black women. I know what I'm talking about because it was black women, specifically black people, including black men, but that whole movement here in South Carolina, when Joe Biden's campaign was on political life support, it was on a political ventilator, and it was black women that led the charge. Out of all the different demographic voting groups, the loyalist voting group and the group that voted in the highest percentage for Joe Biden, here in South Carolina in that primary, presidential primary, and in the presidential election was black women. So President Biden, don't F around and find out and make a fatal mistake by taking Vice President Harris off the ticket and replacing her. And don't think you can, find another black woman. Black people are smart. And black women ain't no fool. You don't bite the hand that fed you. President Biden, please do not, because we got too much at stake here. And you got folks, even in your own party, whining and moaning, oh, he's too old. But I never hear those same people that complain, even so-called Democrats, well, Joe Biden is too old. But I don't hear y'all say nothing about Orange Hitler's ass. Like I said, they were about 3 years apart. So we gotta live in the here and now, and we gotta live in reality. And there are two choices. All due respect to brother Dr. Cornel West, he didn't have a snowball's chance in hell. And really a vote, and I've said it before, and I would say it to his face, I have the utmost respect for Dr. Cornel West. A vote for Dr. Cornel West is really a vote for Orange Jumpsuit Hitler. It is. Because there's no way, there's no miracle. Lightning could strike everywhere. And there's still no way that Dr. Cornel West is going to win enough votes in enough states to get the 270 plus electoral college votes. No, it's not going to happen, guys. Just not going to happen. So we can't afford to. We have to be smart and strategic. We have to protect ourselves. We have to protect our voting rights. We have to protect our freedom. People are energized. All these white nationalists are energized by Orange Jumpsuit Hitler. Black people are being attacked, being shot and killed at supermarkets in Buffalo, at dollar stores in Jacksonville, Florida, in black churches on Wednesday night, in a Bible study here in Charleston, South Carolina, or Hispanic folks at Walmarts in South Texas. It's real out here. As they say, ish. I'm kind of cleaning that word up. Ish is real. S-H-I-T is real. As they say in the streets, well, it's real. In these political streets, we don't have time to play around, and we can't afford to be distracted. So we don't care about Hunter Biden, what Hunter Biden is doing. And if Joe Biden had that much, if he was really pulling the strings in the Justice Department, there's no way his son would have got these 2 gun charges today. But some folks say, well, that's not enough. That's not enough. He should be this. It's a distraction. Stay focused on the man that's caught not 1 charge, not 2 charges, not 10 charges, not 30 charges, not even 50 charges, not even 75 charges. 91. 4 felonies, 91 charges. It's only 1 person. Hunter Biden, I think, he got two charges, 2 gun charges, 2 who's not running for president at all. So, all right, wrap up. We got some bad weather that you can't hear it, but I can hear it. So I want to thank everybody for watching me live. Shout out to my mom, my #1 fan who's watching me live. I want to thank everybody else for watching. God bless each and every one of you, and you, and you, and especially you, and most of all, God, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. Shout out to Mr. Markell Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on IG, on Instagram. Kel be cutting up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, she is the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her out on IG and check out her collection. She is an incredible designer, a future superstar as a designer. Check out her lx.ncl_collection on Instagram, on IG. Find her lx.ncl_, that little dash down at the bottom, all the way on the right side. And shout out to Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant and stylist for the show. Check him out on Instagram, Miglio Di Mario Uomo, MIGLIODIMARIOUOMO. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'll go if you came in halfway, you caught me halfway into the episode. Get ready to go back and binge watch this and all my back episodes. I will see you live Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, as always, be blessed. Pray for peace. Thanks for watching. Holla!
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.
Charleston's first trucking expo is rolling into the Lowcountry September 17th with industry speakers, a kids zone, vendors, and CDL scholarships. Make sure to come to Ladson Exchange Park on September 17th and visit charlestontruckexpo.com.